we are here back at Fordon again. Why not? 66 wins and 4 losses. We need to get up to 100 games as quickly as possible, right? Isn't that? Oh, no, lose 100 games as quickly as possible. So we're on our way. We're working on it as best we can. Last time, we had a fairly straightforward game. So we'll see if we can do that again or if we end up having something that ends up being a little bit more complicated. Let's see how it goes and let's at least have a little bit of fun.
Start to play.
All right, I am black in this game. Let's see if they want to play me, see if they stick with it. All right, I'm going to play this territorial style that I've been really into lately. Just to continue to enclose. Nice and simple. When they approach high, I very much like this with the attachment underneath. Pull back and jump. I was waiting to see if they did the tiger's mouth or something different here. But here I very much like this position. And because they approached high, I will approach low in the upper left. They should probably actually pincer here, honestly. But let's see what they do. They are going to pincer. They're pincering really closely. Because they're doing the close pincer, I will be pressing this down. Because then if they push and cut, I feel okay about this particular Joseki. When it's further away, it's a lot more annoying to deal with. So, 1, 2, 3, then jump is a little bit interesting. I thought they would actually push one more time and then play away. I think that would be a good move here. In this case, 1, 2, 3, then jump. So I could go for the direct attack of this group here, or I could just approach them. I think anything is probably okay here. Let's go for the approach. It was hard for me to choose. Oh, they're going to just do a 2-space extension from a very far distance. Like I said, I'm always okay with just taking the corner directly. This is actually slightly awkward for my opponent, so I will actually still just take the corner. When I say that it's awkward, what I mean is that when I Hane and connect, they have to connect, and then they have to play another move to fix this situation, and it's still not great for them. But something else I can also do is I can do this Knight's move, which means that I don't get the Hane and connect. So they have to play another move here to fix the situation. Because I can always run this stone out. In this case, I have a little bit of Aji here, so I will do the diagonal to make it so they can't do anything to my corner. And they still need to come back and kill this stone off. Otherwise, I can run the stone out. Jumping over the top is probably wrong, and they should have shoulder hit the stone. Because if I push up and push over, there's not that much space for me to go. Not much room for me to run away with. Here I can definitely continue playing. And something that's really easy to do here is the shoulder hit. So the only thing I need to worry about is if my group on the top side is going to be weak. The corner is something that I can't take anymore with this group. So it could be weak. So if they're pushing, and pushing, I'm surrounding this group and they're surrounding my group. I think I'm willing to make that sort of trade. So I will try this move. And I don't know if I want to jump back or if I want to just pull back. If I jump back, they can play again and then turn and I jump. Or if I pull back, they have this sort of move. Seems fine either way, honestly. What shape would look better after the turn? If I do this when they turn, I extend. Now, it's slightly awkward shape, so I'm going to just extend back. It seems like the better way to do it. Nope, just extend back again. Jumping out with this one, so we will also jump out. Our bottom group is perfectly alive. He can, I believe he can just connect here. I want to push first. And then get this Hane, which just gives me some really nice strength here. And then I could jump out. If I jump out, then the turn here is a little bit annoying. If I do the tiger's mouth, then I think the turn is still somewhat annoying. So I do think jumping and moving faster is probably better. So I'll do that for now. Move as quickly as possible. I wanted to push and do the Hane because that just gives me some extra strength. And that's all I need to worry about right now is my strength. If he goes back to defend this, then I can defend my own group. And if he doesn't do that, then eventually I can maybe attack the bottom side. But we don't need to focus on that first. We need to focus on defending first. I think if I just connect, then they have some awkward shape they need to fix. And then I also have this cutting point that's very annoying to deal with. So I will just connect. And my move is in a really nice spot now because they can't push and cut me here. And my group is fairly strong. So I'm now able to just fix my other group on top, which is really nice there. And we can potentially just jump out, or we can just keep pushing, because Hane at the height of 2 is still really nice, so I don't mind pushing again. Something we did already is we already took a lot of territory, so we're very happy with the territory that we've gotten. So I said I'm threatening the Hane at the head of 2, so I will now do that double Hane here. He doesn't have to necessarily respond, though. It is true. And if I connect, we have now fixed my problem and gotten me some more territory, and he has to attack my group now. So it just depends on if I can do anything to him first, If he cuts here, I do feel bad. So I'm just going to connect. I'm just going to make sure one group is safe, and then we'll focus on the other one. Sometimes I think it's good to learn how to defend these types of groups so we can focus on that if they go with a very aggressive attack here. They are not going to go for the aggressive attack. So I do want Sente, and I don't want them to get the outside because that would be really good. So I'm going to extend here and bump. He can push again if he wants to, but I will just extend because the more he pushes here, the better it is for me. And then we get to go back and defend our group on the left side. So I think this was a really, really big mistake from my opponent. I could also turn here. Is this Sente? I have to ask myself that here. It is not Sente, so I will not worry about it. But I will, as I defend my group. Do I want to do the Knight's move here? Normally the Knight's move is the standard move after this, because if they Hane and block, they go through here, you can cut. And just jump is also a good standard move here. I also don't really need to play over here again, because I don't really get anything from it. But I will do the Knight's move, because it's about keeping this group a little bit weak. As I said, we can play one more move to completely separate it. So if they're not careful, we'll do that. If I Hane, I'm pushing it over my other group. So I'm just going to extend. If they are able to Hane that stone, it makes the stone weak. So I just want to make sure it has enough liberties. And then if they push, we can just jump out again. That one is a bad move. I don't care about the points here. All I cared about was making sure they couldn't get a bunch of free moves locally, basically. So we'll just jump up here, fix our weak group before we fix anything else. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. So we will surround the left side group. He has to go and live now, which he can do. He can do. This is just really nice shape for me, so I'm definitely happy to do it. And we can do this really nice diagonal to prevent any sort of cutting over here. I'll connect. There's no reason to do that Peep. This actually hurts his liberties on the inside, which is not necessarily helpful for him. I said he can just attach here and be alive. Like that, yeah. He can just do that. He always had that option. But now I have the option of this Hane and cut off these stones. So my group is extremely strong now. I'm not sure the best way for me to do anything, but I am kind of interested in just playing big moves right now. So we have some territory over here, territory in the other corner. We want to take away some territory on the top if we can, and just play big things. So I don't need to play again. I am interested in this jump. It looks a little bit small, but I actually really like it. I can sort of go into his area and threaten his group a little bit. So I will play it, even though it looks a little small. It's bigger than it seems, I think. Do we even need to answer this move? Sure, we will answer the move. And here we should be able to block, because if they cut, we can Hane and capture the stones. Again, if they cut, we should be fine. But I think now we probably answer, actually. Because now we can also cut these 3 stones off, because our group is really strong. Double Hane? No, just push through. It's good. Because I'm just hurting his other group, and I'm really happy to do that. So yeah, I'll keep this going, because I can still cut him over here as well. So I think I'll just keep extending. This doesn't hurt me at all. So now we can go to the point where we want to capture these stones. There's a really nice exchange. This Peep for these 2 stones is really good. Now you're seeing why their peeping moves were not very good from earlier as well. And now they decided to connect. We can cut them off here. If we cut them off, they have to try to live. So I would rather take the territory first and force them to connect. I always try to take the profit before worrying about anything else. That cut, sure. We capture the 2 stones. Not exactly sure what this move is doing, but I will answer because I don't want him to push through. We can answer this one as well, because if he pushes through, we Atari and connect and nothing happens, so we can answer here. Okay, so here we may as well just Atari, because we're keeping our group connected, and these 2 stones, this cutting point is only important if these 2 stones are alive. No reason to worry about them. This Peep looks a little bit dangerous for white, so I'm kind of interested in doing it, so I think I will. I'll Peep here once. This is threatening to push and cut, and because I connected earlier, the push and cut's more deadly. That's one reason why I play these really slow-looking moves. Of course, if I think I'm ahead, I'm more likely to play it as well, because I didn't technically need to. Oh, that move doesn't work, because we can do this Tiger's Mouth to cut this off. I think the Peep was slightly better, so yeah, just cut here. And then we can even push through and cut as well, but we're going to pull back instead. Make sure that these stones are connected, and just killing off the 4 stones feels really nice. And they still need to connect this here. I will just connect so I still have the push and cut. If I do the Tiger's Mouth or anything else, there's potential for throw-ins, and I don't want to have to deal with that. And my corner is actually safe. There's actually nothing I have to worry about with my corner. If they Atari me and then they cut, I just push it down and the stones are dead. So I can just move on. And this group is technically not alive, so I could do something about it. For now, I'm going to play just an endgame move that's Sente. The clamp just kills the group in the corner. And I think instead of disconnecting the groups at this point, I think it's better to play a move that forces them to connect instead. So something over here to sort of take the points on top and then threaten the disconnect, which then looks like it's a little bit more deadly. I just wanted to play around here so the clamp wasn't as big of a deal. Looks like we can actually apply a lot of pressure to this one. This is threatening to push and cut through. Yeah, the cut doesn't do anything. So now they don't actually have eyes over here anymore. But as I said, I think it's better if they just connect, so I could let them do that. But also at this point, this looks very, very dangerous for white. But I think they have a chance of making an eye on the bottom. So we will go back and defend, and we'll just let them connect in the center. If they really want to do that, sure, I really don't care. They're threatening things that just don't do anything. So I can just connect here, and I really don't see any of these Ataris doing anything. Let's just connect. Let's give up these stones. All right, let's just give up these stones and not worry about it. I actually don't even think I have to, if I'm honest. But I'm just going to play the safe route here and not worry about it. That's one more thing that could complicate the game. So just keeping my points is good enough. Pushing here, they peep. Now the Audi in the corner is gone. They'd have to jump back, and that doesn't work. So it looks like I can push, and we can push again. Yep, there is this Atari. And if we push it down, this doesn't do anything, so we can still Atari it down. It's okay if they're able to connect back up. I just didn't want to let them have too much on that side. So the real question is if I can turn here. There's something I can just read if I want to read it. So if I turn here, they block again, I go down, then they go to connect up, I have to block, and that doesn't work for them. It looks like it doesn't work for them at all. So I think I can. So again, I have one last opportunity to back off if I have to. So if I go down, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. They turn, I push, they block, and I can just kill the 2 stones. They go here, I do the same thing. It looks like I can just extend down. I have enough liberties for that. And now they're going to go after my middle group. These 2 stones are not important. So all I have to do is extend here, make sure my group's alive, and we're good to go. Extending is probably fine. I think I want more eye shape, or eye space, not shape. Now they're going to go for this cut. As I said, I was just going to give that up because I just didn't really care anymore about that. I think I could actually Atari and connect and maybe fight that if I'm honest there. But I think there are bigger moves on the board, like this diagonal, threatening to jump in. That's a really big move. And I can just Hane here, because that is fairly big, because they should answer. And then I can push into the corner, another very big move here. I don't need to respond if they Hane. Oh, can I just take the corner now? Because my other group's alive. Looks like I can. So let's just take the corner. So I'm alive in the corner if I get to take it. And I think I'm just alive there. So I don't know if I need another move, but I may as well do this one. Because like right now, like in endgame, the shape here doesn't really matter. If he's pushing through my shape like this, I don't really care. It doesn't hurt my position at all. There's no even real need to separate right now. Yeah, exactly. No need to do that at all. I do think this Atari is probably big enough right now. And some other random move in the center is probably big enough. So I'm going to do the Atari because this is my weakest potential group. So I think Atari and extend down here looks nice. Yep, we just pull back. We don't want... I guess we could Atari first if we wanted to. Then we can connect in some way. Yeah, sure. Let's Atari first. If they cut, we capture the Atari, connect. They can't even Atari this. So they could capture these 2 stones if they really want to. But then I get to push through. Sure, let's see if they want to do that. It'll be fine if they decide to. I don't even have to respond the way that they would want me to anyway, so it's okay. I think it ends up being fine. They're Atariing here. I'm not exactly sure why. So we can just connect, and that doesn't do anything. That's basically what this came down to, is I could always just connect anyway, so it ends up being okay. And there's no reason to connect here now, because now they've made this exchange, my whole group is connected and alive. Right? Even if they cut here, I just Atari down and Atari again. If they throw in over here, we just block. We're really not in any position to worry about the bottom side group anymore. So it looks like we should probably focus on other sort of things. So like this group is my next weakest group, and I want to make sure there is for sure that one eye here. So I'm going to push here to make sure that eye is actually there. I'm like fairly certain it is, but just to be 100% certain, that's how I like to play the end game moves, basically. I want to be 100% certain about everything. I'm not sure what this move is doing, so we'll just Hane to make sure they don't get any extra forcing moves. I'm fine with just connecting as well. There's no two eyes over here, and there's nothing they can do about that. Often you don't want to do any sort of Ataris or anything like that because they just don't work. You always want to play like the most solidly connected move instead. There is no way to get rid of this eye. Looks like the eye is just there. Is there a reason to do this Atari and extend? I think white could potentially make some points in that area. So the Atari and extend here looks like a way to threaten them so they have to connect up, and then they're not making any points in this area at all. So it feels like a good way to handle this. Because they're trying to connect up, I will extend, and I don't want to give them some easy moves against my own stones. So I do want a stone that I can run to if I have to go this direction. And I'm actually making some points with this, so I'm not upset with these moves. I might as well grab my fox coins while I'm waiting. Okay, they have now resigned. All right. All right, so one thing I do want to mention, now that it's the end of the game here, I played in a more risky way this game because I kind of wanted to show off the ability to maybe protect a group. This would have given white some really nice potential in the center, though. So I do want to mention a better way to play before we end this video, because I don't want you to think this was the right choice for sure. The more proper way to play this game, for example, would have been jumping out with this move here, or just moving on in general, honestly. I do think that this center has some potential that we should be reducing. And then if they even play one more move to make sure that this is all points, then we can go and get another really big move somewhere else. If you look at score estimate here, score estimate's not really that reliable, but it gives you a general idea of the game board, and it's saying I'm winning by 7.5 points. So you could say that it's probably closer to like an even game right now. And so the idea here is that you often want to protect your weak group before you do this sort of move. So if they go back and play the big move on the left side, now we can come in through here. And then while we're running this way, we already have a little bit of protection for our other group. So it becomes much easier to just push here, and our group is basically fine. We even have a little bit of Aji that we can mess with ourselves, depending on how my opponent decides to play. And then you may even not want to do this right away. You could also even just go for something over here that just gets you a little bit more influence and let them sort of just take those points for themselves. You do not need to do what I did in this game. I thought it would be okay overall, which is why I did it. As you see, they can always just connect underneath, so it's difficult for them to really die here. And I do technically have two weak groups. Sadly, they did not end up even attacking me, so I wasn't really able to demonstrate how to live with these groups or how to fight back or anything like that. It ended up being a very simple game anyway, so hopefully this was still fun. Hopefully it was enjoyable, and I hope you guys are having a good day. Have fun.